Hello and welcome back to the No More Trauma podcast, where I am your host. My name is Tanya, clinical yoga therapist, yoga instructor, wellness facilitator, and coach. And this podcast is supporting you on your healing journey after trauma recovery. My mission is to extend education and therapeutic practices like yoga and Pilates for trauma recovery. So this is a new style of an episode that I'm introducing, which is the audio newsletter. And so while I have the Substack, I also wanted to bring this as an audio version. You can find this podcast on Apple, SoundCloud, and on YouTube. And so if you're not subscribed to the Substack, No More Trauma newsletter, then you can always tune in here where I'll be bringing in the monthlies, topics for the month, right? Or things to look forward to. Well, hello. Oh my goodness. Did we skip all of the episodes for 2025? My goodness, I feel like it's been quite some time, but I'm feeling very much inspired and creative, and I am ready to bring in some new things to the community. And so thank you. Thank you if you're a returning listener. And if you're new, hi there, welcome. Okay, so today's newsletter this month, right? So it's summer, and oh, do I get re-energized during the summer. I hope you're feeling it too. So summer healing through yoga, Pilates, and Ayurveda. How are you feeling this summer? Are you taking any trips? Are you spending time at the pool? Are you spending time in the sun? Are you, going to your local park? Are you taking a trip to see a special friend or a loved one or a solo trip? Ooh, those are my favorite. Are you making popsicles? Are you, oh goodness, what else? All those fun things, right? My mother um, really enjoyed the beach. I'm a Caribbean girl, an island girl, and we love the beach. So we have to get there. And I am, yeah, that's honestly how I've been spending it now. And I'm a summer baby. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. So July, here we are in July. So July brings the height of summer, a time for warmth, restoration, and deep, deep healing. This month, we focus on harnessing the power of movement, breath, and Ayurveda to support trauma recovery and balance the mind and the body. Whether you are deep in your healing journey or just exploring new ways to nurture yourself and just embrace this season's transformation. Again, if you're tuning in, I just ask that if you wish to be subscribed, if you want these newsletters in your inbox, then I would suggest heading right over to Substack /no more trauma. But other than that, let's keep listening. So I'm going to be talking about just some monthly poses that we can be doing as far as yoga and Pilates go, and I'll mention some other things. As far as the yoga poses for the month, so if you are a person that's just getting started in your yoga practice, or you have a very advanced practice, wherever you are, let's consider Viparita Karani, and that's in Sanskrit, and in English, legs up the wall, right? So time I like to say maybe before bed, this is a good practice. Maybe, honestly, you can do it at any point. So even if you like, you kind of want to, before you get out of bed, just kind of put the legs up on the wall, you can do that. So it's a soothing posture to calm the nervous system and just reduce stress. There is so much, listen, so much going on in the world. And was it last night? I believe I just felt last night where I was just like, oh my goodness. Because, everything is energetic, it's energy. And sometimes we kind of carry some of that. I know I do. And I have to just, Dios mío, like, mira, basta, todo basta. Stop everything and let me just put myself on the mats or on the floor, or even if I'm in bed already, and just, because it's a lot, and so, and excuse me, this is just me just talking, but I found myself yesterday where, it was a really good, productive day off. But even still, when I'm scrolling the internet world, or when I can't escape it and it's just on the news or people are bringing it up in conversation, and I'm just like, oh, the world feels so demanding. And I just come into this yoga pose, which can be very, very relaxing and calming. So what does that look like? I'm just going to narrate some of that, the posture itself. So again, it's allowing the legs to be long, right? Long, raised upwards and relaxed, right? So the knees may be together. You can even do, even a wider stance where the legs are, there's space in between the legs, right? And the ankle is flexed and heels against the wall, active through the arches, right? And the palms out by your side, okay? Palms facing up, and creating space as you roll the shoulders down the espalda, the back, right? Create some space in the back so you have for your neck, right? And so the abdomen is soft, hips square and push down. And the calves may be engaged, quads, hamstrings, pelvic floor. But you can feel the spine really become grounded, right? Maybe you even soften the eyes, or cerrado los ojos, so closing the eyes, right? And it really begins to relax the whole nervous system. And you're like, ooh, this feels good. I can stay here a while. Yeah. So I invite you to take this posture, and this is legs up the wall, recline, legs up the wall pose. You can do it before bed. Really good to keep the blood being replenished, right? So everything, all that chi, because again, we walk all day, so we're bringing all of that energy back down and through the body, okay? So really, really good posture to practice throughout this month. Another, another posture or exercise as we move into the world of Pilates, right? Pilates says physical fitness is the first requisite to happiness. I love that quote. But he, in this month, practicing bridge pose, really good pose. Now, this is in between yoga and Pilates, right? So you just, maybe you're not a yoga practice enthusiast, and maybe, Pilates is more your thing. Totally fine. Okay. But bridge pose, it's a pose and asana that's in both practices where you get lucky there. And so a couple options you can do, like, so when I think of it in the yoga space, and I think of this legs up the wall, it can be a restorative posture. And if we want to keep it restorative, then, and if we're moving into this bridge pose, then I invite you to use pillows or blocks, right? And placing it right at that low lumbar. And as you move it, or maybe even the sacrum, so just kind of feel where it feels most comfortable. Maybe blocks feel a little hard. You can always use, well, I have like cork blocks. You can always use the foam blocks or even just pillows, or a bolster, and inviting in a little bit of that restorative, right? And so what happens there is there's an internal rotation of the thighs. You're drawing the heels, they're firmly planted towards the glutes, and knees are pointed up towards the sky. Okay. And that same upper body with the palms resting down by your side, but this time the palms are actually palms face down. So the fingers are in line aside the hips, right? Fingers pointed down towards the bottom of the mat if you're on the mat, or towards the heels, okay? And you're lifting the pelvis or lifting the glutes off of the mat or off of the bed, right? And that chin is towards the chest. So almost kind of like you're gazing down towards your abdomen, okay? And as you're lifting in the hips, right, maybe you have the support of the blocks and pillows, and you can enjoy sensation, whatever you feel there, right? You can even alternate with extending legs, right leg and left leg. And then if not, if you're taking more of the Pilates posture, right, then again, hips are engaged, pressing into the soles of the feet, okay? Toes are wide. And maybe you feel the engagement of the glutes. The engagement of the pelvic floor. Navel still pulled in. And you're inhaling here for this deep back bend, because this is actually a back bend happening, right? And then you can gently lower down one vertebrae at a time, and you can repeat as anywhere between 5 and 10 breaths. So really good active pose, right? So Sonia, what are the benefits, right? So we're engaging, we're strengthening the pelvic floor, strengthening the glutes, strengthening the toning of the abdomen, right? And so this is a really good posture to work with, bridge pose. So let's talk Ayurveda, right? So, okay, Tanya, we're moving our body. What about the nourishment? Well, in Ayurveda, the sister science of yoga, right? And so we use different practices and rituals that may balance out our dosha, right? And so, and say, Tanya, what is a dosha? We're getting into a whole new language. So your dosha is your prakriti. It's how you show up, and we all have a different prakriti, right? Or an energy or an aura, and it talks about like your diet or your excuse me, I'm like drawing a blank here. I have so many things popping up in my head when I think about it. I just get excited, so I just want to say all the things. But it's your element, it's water, it's earth, it's air, right? And the heat, so the fire. And so there's 3. It's your pitta, kapha, or dosha. what I'll do is I'll link that down below, where you can take your own individual quiz and see what dosha you are, so how you can incorporate different herbs into your diet, or different practices and rituals that may keep you balanced this summer. So in Ayurveda, you know, we're in the season. Summer represents that pitta. It's the heat, the fire, right? So what happens if if there's too much excess of this heat, then what we want to do, what normally happens during the summer, right? We go to the pool more, we go to the beach more, we, drink more fluids, right? And so we're looking to keep ourselves balanced, right? To keep our emotional state in check, right? Our physical state in check. And so we do that by introducing the opposite. So since we're in this pitta season, then we want to invite in some kapha, a little bit of a balance, or soothing. And so cooling coconut oil massage, if you take a little bit of coconut oil and a little bit of, I like to say like peppermint, or some sort of mint or eucalyptus essential oil, and just kind of rub that, or even a eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is good, tea tree is good. And so anything that's going to invite in some of that cooling sensation during these really hot months. And so you can take that in coconut oil and just kind of massage it, right? And this can soothe some emotional heat, because what happens is, I kind of think of my mom here. Oh my goodness. I never forget, we would run errands. And I just remember us like running errands, being in the hot car, and the next thing you know, like she wouldn't eat. And so and it was because she was just busy running those errands. She just kind of got, sidetracked, and she would be like, "Oh, it's time to eat," but at that moment it had gotten to a point where she was just hangry, right? And so sometimes that heat within us and the heat outside, you get a little hangry if you don't eat, or you get a little, a little antsy, your temper begins to show, right? And so what we want to do is we want to prepare ourselves from getting to that place, right? Maybe we have a smoothie, maybe and we add a little coconut oil. That's what I've been doing in June. This past month, I kept eating a lot of acai bowls, and I love when I drizzle that coconut oil on top and a little bit of honey. Ooh, oh my goodness, talk about cooling. So yeah, coconut oil, it really reduces some of that emotional heat that comes up during the summer months, right? Standing in long lines outside, oh, and you're like, oh my God, my temper is short right now. Do not mess with me. So another thing that can keep us cool this summer, our emotions cool this summer, is hibiscus tea, hibiscus and mint. So supporting our hydration and calming these fiery emotions, enjoy some hibiscus tea. So Trader Joe's, if you have a Trader Joe's where you are, that's definitely a fave. They have a hibiscus tea in their tea and coffee section. They also have like a Moroccan mint. Ooh, I remember when Sundays, oh my gosh, I remember. So I used to practice my meditation at a Shambhala meditation center in Florida. And Sundays I would go, and after this long 1 hour meditation session, so good, but like if you're out of practice or you're just getting started, that hour can feel like the whole day you've sat there. And so after that, there would be in the room down the hall outside of the meditation center, there would be this beautiful room, banquet room, and it had a station for tea, and they would have this beautiful Moroccan mint tea, and we would have soup and salad and sit at the tables and just connect. And that was rewarding. I like, okay, I'm going to get to meditation, do my hour-long meditation. Every time I would think about the Moroccan mint tea, I was like, ooh, but I get that tea at the end. So yeah, anywho, really get to enjoy some mint tea. So we've discussed all of the beverages. Oh, let me backtrack really quick. Speaking of coconut oil, agua de coco, con chía y limón. One of my favorite elixirs, coconut water, some chia seeds, and a squeeze of lime. Let me tell you, your best life, your best life. Thank me later. Healing foods, watermelon and cucumber. We talked about the beverages, but what about the food, Tanya? Please, I'm hangry. So watermelon and cucumber. I just posted, I'll do my best to put the link down below. The cutest little okay, so I've fallen down a rabbit hole when it comes to mukbangs. I don't know why, but I resisted it at first. I judged it at first. But now I watch mukbangs and they're just so entertaining to me. I have no idea why. But I just made a cute one with my little furry friend Max. So Max is my little Chewini friend. He's not even a year old yet. He's this honey blonde color with this cute black nose and deep dark eyes. Oh, he's the cutest thing. We just had some watermelon and I created a little cute short to place on my YouTube channel. And if you're not following me, I invite you to join the No More Trauma virtual yoga studio over on YouTube, where we practice yoga and Pilates for trauma recovery. So hop on the mat with me. So cucumber and watermelon, that's going to help maintain your hydration and regulate your body temperature, right? So I know during the summer months, lots of some of those fried foods can be easy to reach for, but I invite you to not forget to stay hydrated. So actually went to a Pilates workshop with Pilates by Raven herself in New York. And I got to enjoy this bowl in New Jersey. It had pickled cabbage and some fluffy turmeric rice, and some grilled seasoned shrimp with some really good pickled onions and dill and cucumber. Talk about refreshing. The meal was really, really good. I definitely did my best to chew slowly. To chew slowly because it was really, really good. And I actually accompanied that with unfortunately, they didn't have any agua de coco con lemon and chia, pero I had a San Pellegrino. What are those drinks that everyone, anywho, it was really good. I always get like the blood orange. So, ooh, sounds so good. All right, I'm getting hungry already. So now that we've kind of wrapping up this Ayurveda section of the newsletter, I do want to say, if anyone's a little curious about Ayurveda and just kind of, want to figure out what different foods are best suited for their dosha, what type of, practices and rituals is best for your dosha, what time you should go to bed and what time you should get up, and what kind of environment you should be in to keep your dosha balanced. I recommend the Ayurveda's Beginner's Guide, Essential Ayurvedic Principles and Practices to Balance and Heal Naturally. So that was a mouthful. I'll link that down below. Of course, this newsletter will be linked down below, so you'll get a visual as well. And yeah, this book is found on Amazon. So let's mention a little good quote here. So through movement, we reclaim our strength. Through breath, we reclaim our peace. I'll read that again. Through movement, we reclaim our strength. Through breath, we reclaim our peace. Does that resonate for you? Yeah, I feel like when I hop on the mat, I definitely feel strong, muy fuerte, muy fuerte. I feel very strong when I get off the mat, even if it's like a really slow practice, a restorative practice. I feel this um, inner strength, right? I may not, I feel like strength, it changes naturally, right? Some days we may not feel physically strong, but we feel emotionally strong. Or maybe we feel maybe not physically strong, but we feel spiritually strong, right? I think that's really beautiful. And then through breath, we reclaim our peace. And absolutely, I think, I always come to learn something when I step on, when I leave my meditation, right? Like I feel this sense of peace, but I also feel like there's information, right? Like I get information from myself and from my body. So beautiful. So again, we're in Julio, right? Julio, July. But June, if I do just a reflection of June, June was so beautiful. I celebrated, you know, that's the month of sobriety for me. So I enjoy some really good mocktails in the month of June. Um, what else? So I just mentioned Pilates by Raven. So I managed to do a workshop with her and just strengthen my skills as a Pilates instructor. And just connected with some other individuals. Celebrated my birthday. So I celebrated my birthday in June, and that was really nice. Just kind of overlooking the water and just enjoying some really good food. I've introduced seafood back into my diet, and that feels good. And enjoyed some just a whole thing of snapper, and that was lovely on a bed of salad, and that felt very refreshing. What else? Oh my gosh, just teaching, right? Teaching on the beach, right? So I'll have some new dates posted for what used to be La Ultima Yoga is now Serenity, Sunrise Serenity Yoga by the Waves, where I got to teach a private couple. And that was beautiful. They enjoyed it. And she said, Tanya, you get 5 stars. I was like, oh, thank you. Sunbathing. I wake up I'm so energized in June. And so I just kind of sunbathe and enjoyed a lovely creamy matcha latte. Oh my gosh, I had some fluffy chai pancakes. Oh my goodness, so good. And had a lovely time at a spa. And I like to say I'm a spa connoisseur. And so having a nice lymphatic massage and a lovely body scrub, and it was great. It was really nice, and just kind of awakening my senses. So good. June was absolutely amazing. I can't say enough. And so now I want to address some announcements. What's coming up for No More Trauma? Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say that I'm accepting new clients. I'm accepting new clients for yoga therapy. If you haven't already tuned into some episodes of the yoga therapy series, I invite you to do so because they're good. I actually did one. The last one I did was actually talked about bringing now pop culture because I hear not a lot of individuals understand the concept of what yoga therapy is. And so I am starting to make new episodes on pop culture and talk about, what it would look like in a therapy session. And so Diddy was the last one. So I'll leave that link below so you can tune in to that. So again, I am accepting new clients. And so I would invite you to visit my website, right? So if you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck in your body or your mind, maybe it's time to try something deeper than just another workout. As mentioned, I am a certified clinical yoga therapist. And I'm now accepting new clients. So yoga therapy isn't just about stretching, it's personalized. It's a holistic approach that blends movement, breath work, mindfulness to support your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. So whether you're navigating chronic pain, anxiety, or trauma, or just wanting to seek more balance in your life, I'll meet you where you are, and we both begin to journey you on forward, right? So these sessions are one-on-one, trauma-informed, and tailored to your unique need. So flexibility is not required, just a willingness to show up for you. So I invite you to visit www.nomoretraumayoga.com. That's www.nomoretraumayoga.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram, right? If that's something you got to scope me out a bit, you can follow me on Instagram at @az.nomoretrauma to schedule your free consultation or like intake session, and then we can just kind of go from there. Okay. So another announcement, I'll be announcing dates for Sunrise Serenity Yoga. That's going to be coming during the fall. But what I can say that is you can find more structure. I think, honestly, if I'm honest, I've kind of I've always had this thing when it comes to social media. I'm a hyper creative, but also, I do have to make sure that things are kind of cohesive. That's kind of the perfectionist in me, being honest. And so just making sure that everything's neat and that you guys can follow along with me in the right way. If we want to talk about this podcast, then if we want to chat about anything about this podcast, then there is a chat over on my Substack. So remember to subscribe to the Substack at Substack/No More Trauma. Well, this is it. This is it for this podcast, but I really just want to say enjoy your summer. Feel free to share with me, share or tag me if you're using some of these poses and that gave you a little bit of inspiration. If you're, doing your summer thing and you're like, yeah, I remember when Tanya said a thing on her podcast. She was like, what you doing this summer? Well, so tag me and let's talk about it. So feel free to leave comments down below and stay in touch. So remember to live abundantly, love your authenticity, and radiate organic happiness. But most importantly, live a life of no more trauma. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you back. Be well, take care, and I'll see you on the mat soon. Bye.